All right, so we need to have a little bit of a conversation. And this is for all of my mamas, just like me, that are out there that have children that are on the spectrum. Okay. And this is for the other ones that if you really want to listen, then listen. If you don't, then, keep on scrolling. But pretty much, a lot of people need to understand that the moms that sit here and get the snide comments behind their backs and they're like, oh, well, why doesn't she go work? She's so lazy. Why does she always look like that? She doesn't take care of herself. No, what needs to be understood is the fact that I used to work. Even before I met my husband and before I met my girls, all three of my girls, their one father. Yeah, before I met him, I used to work a 48-hour job in customer service. So that's where I already know what that is like to work a job constantly, get up every day at a certain time, get ready, and then go to that job. Not only including that, I walked there. I walked from my house or from my parents' house when I lived there when I was working. And then I would go and work constantly, walking back and forth day and night. I didn't have a car. I didn't have anything. So that's where it's like, I know what it's like to already work. And then after that, after I had my first daughter, guess what? I went back to work again. And then after I had my second daughter, I went back to work again. Now I couldn't go back to work because of my third daughter because of the fact I had to be on bed rest. I wasn't allowed to do anything. But the thing is that the snide comments, especially when you see moms or the moms that have children that are on the spectrum or just any children that are on Social Security, you have to understand that as much as you want to see these other people go get a job and you're thinking that they're lazy and that they just don't want to work, you have to understand that we can't most of the time. We can't go and get a job and we can't go and work the amount of hours that we would love to work to benefit our families. But the thing is that if we work, then the money that our children that are on the Social Security, their money gets taken away from them. And that's the way it works with the government. Because if your money is already receiving pretty much an amount that would be far more than even what one spouse would be receiving in 1 week, that's where that would be making way too much money. You can't have two parents, two married couples, or a married couple and have both of them working and then your child receiving Social Security. Can't work like that. That's too much money. So either one of you works and one of you stays home and then you're the caretaker of your child once they get home from school and everything like that. That's how it has to work. Other than that, if you are working, if both of the parents are working, that child is not receiving the full amount of benefits because both of the parents are working and they're able to cover that amount. Now, does that take away from the child? Yes, and this is where that battle is. This is where it's going to be a constant battle of hearing people and either being pressured to go and work because people are thinking that you're lazy and that you don't want to do this. But really, you need to understand that half of us and most of us, we wish we could sit there and work. We want to work, but do we benefit ourselves and then not have any of those benefits saved up for our children in the end? Or do we end up not working and then having those benefits saved up in the end that our children receive for their Social Security? Which, yes, those benefits have to go towards other things in the house, and especially other things in the house that they need. And especially if you have other children that aren't on Social Security, that's what it has to be used for as well. And as much as other parents want to dispute this, that's even where believe me, think once I got married, that's where we had to have this discussion with DSHS. And so that's where we were informed, like, no, especially if you have a child that is on Social Security, you cannot have food cards. You cannot have any of that. The only thing that you can have for a food card is a PEBT card. And because that's supplied by the education system pretty much for everybody whose children is eligible for free lunches and things like that in the States and wherever they're zoned. So that's where the comments towards the parents, and especially like me, because my daughters don't have my husband's last name because they have a different dad. A lot of people think that I like, I'm just sitting here single. No, I have a husband, but just because a lot of people still refer to me as Vega instead of Vega Helsley or Mrs. Helsley, they think that I'm just sitting here not doing anything, or that I'm sitting here with, I don't know what they think my husband is, that he's just my housemate, my brother. I don't know. That's the thing. And that's where all the comments of just everything need to stop, because unless you actually end up having a child that's on the spectrum and you're married and one of you has to drop everything to just be there, you won't know, and you just, it's gotten to the point where I have no more words, because I've had to deal with this, and I've had to deal with the snarky comments from other people saying it behind my back, and just everything, that it's just gotten to the point where, you know what, it just has to stop, because until you get put in those positions, you're never going to know. And this, like I said, you're never going to know. And all those, not even just towards me, but towards all the other moms that have children that are on the spectrum and that have to sit here and be at home. And our job is the house. Now, are we happy about it constantly every single day? No, we're not. Is it a struggle? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But do we get the joys of learning? Your children teaching you far more love than you ever thought, and far more patience than you ever thought you could learn. But just the comments have to stop. They really do. And for all you mamas out there that are dealing with this, and otherwise you feel like you can't talk about it, or these are feelings that you've held inside, you're doing great. Okay? Don't think that you're not. That's where I look like this today, and that's where if you keep up with any of my videos, that's where you'll see me with my makeup done, or you'll see me look like this. And do I deal with this with the comments? Oh, she's been drinking, or oh my gosh, she's just being sloppy and lazy. Yeah, but that's also where, you know what, I deserve days where I relax, because you know what, even being here constantly at home, having to re-pick up your house constantly because you have children, just it's a stressful job as well too. It is. And you are doing great. You are doing wonderful. And you know what, not even for the mamas that have to deal with this, but also for the dads that have to deal with even children being on the spectrum, and just dealing with that, because it's most likely one of you as a spouse has to work and the other one has to stay home. So you're doing great. Don't listen to what anybody else says, especially if it's rude or negative. You are doing wonderful. And just remember, it takes a lot of love and patience to deal with the fact that you had to put everything aside. And also just remember, once they get to the age of 18, of where after we've taught them stuff, yes, we will still have to be here in their lives. And yeah, even for my daughter, we've already discussed it, that, eventually if she even gets to a college or something like that, we might have to move with her, possibly, who knows. But when that time comes, that time comes. And you know what? You'll do amazing at that as well. No matter what happens with you and your family, you'll do amazing. And don't ever think that you're failing. Don't ever think that you are not being a good parent, or even a good person in life. Okay? You're doing amazing. Keep up at it. Don't let anybody else make you feel any different. Okay? Now you go and enjoy your day. And as frustrating as it might get, just understand, breathe, and understand there's another mama out here that understands. And you are doing great, and you are doing amazing. No matter what, if you're a mom or a dad. I know how difficult it can be. Keep it up. I'm proud of you.